Let's go.
Okay. So, welcome to episode 2 of the Eccentric Show. We have a special guest today, and she can introduce herself because she is a strong woman. Don't need me, period.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Is this on? All right. Hi, guys. My name is Lismery. I'm a fourth year undergraduate student here at Iona. I'm a psych major, criminal justice minor, pursuing some grad school after I graduate. Hopefully, I do graduate. Let's just speak it into existence right now.
Manifestation, exactly.
Manifestation is everything. We're going to talk about that today, too.
Literally.
I'm so glad to be here today. I'm so excited. We're going to have so much to talk about.
So much to talk about. So, today I got to give you guys a little outfit. That's, what I'm saying. The
Show them what you got. Show them what you got.
The Eccentric print jacket, the olive green pants. And then, this is that that merino. This bag costs €838. And that's 1,000 stack American. Don't talk about it. Anyway. All right. So, we have a few topics. We conjured up together. Before we get into those, I just want to say thank you guys for 200 followers. Like, it has been the biggest blessing. Thank you guys so much for supporting me since 3 months ago, when I started the Eccentric print, and now that I'm expanding into the Eccentric show, and everything, that I'm really excited to keep giving you guys quality work, quality visuals, all the things that my competition is not giving you. And also we have a new collection coming up. You guys like the reflective set so much. I sat down and conjured up something new that's more luxurious, and it's definitely more winter, fall, and it's gonna be very, very lit. I hope you guys enjoy it. And speaking more into this week, I'm beginning my casting for my February lingerie and underwear models. So I'm looking for models any size. Looking for, minority people first, because, I'm trying to put them on the face of the industry. But, we accept everybody. So I'll be sending out some private invitations. And if you're interested, I'll be posting something soon. But that's all later for future me to deal with. We're going to begin today's show talking about something that, you can't miss in society today. Let's talk about Donald Trump.
Oh, we love talking about Donald
We
Trump.
love talking about the Cheeto. Commander Cheeto. We love talking about him. So let's just start off with the basics. What is, in the most mission consistent way,
the most appropriate way,
can you describe Donald Trump to you?
I think he's, not only is he racist, he supports white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
He supports anti-abortion movements.
Mm-hmm.
And as I noted, and a lot of people noted, that when they were asking him about white supremacist group, he said, "Stand back and stand by."
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think that means?
That means
not
like,
stand back,
exactly.
but stand back and stand by. What does that mean to you?
To me, it means, like, when I heard that, at first it went over my head a little bit. I was like, he kind of said it. I was like, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, this man literally just said, all right, guys, calm down right now, but I'm gonna need you guys if I lose this election. Because if I do, the same way he said he won't concede peacefully, I think what he's gonna do is cause a civil war.
You think so?
Between, the races, like he's already doing, but without the retaliation from the black community or the minority community or anyone else that he's disenfranchising. But yeah, so did you watch the debate or see any clips on Twitter?
I saw most of the clips, and I watched a little bit of it, and it was, to me, it was like so unprofessional. It was like, God, if you don't got no more presidents, just let us know, because, like, we're so confused. We're like bamboozled over here. Yeah. So I feel like there's still a lot to talk about. And what's next? The vice president debate?
Yeah, with Kamala Harris.
But that's a very important thing that I noticed. Mm-hmm. I did some research on Kamala Harris, and she's, I think, the second African American woman
to run for. Yeah, yes. She is. Because my mom was telling me, I forgot the name, or the first one, and this is my blackness not being good right now, but I'm sorry. But I forgot her name, but she ran for president back in like the 60s, 70s, and it wasn't like she wasn't a serious candidate. It's not like the people took it seriously, but on top of her being black, she was a woman. So even to this day, people still treat black women like they don't have rights and like they're not as serious as a man. But I honestly, like, the thing that I go by and like what I cherish and like why I like you and like why I like people like you is because I cherish strong women who can say what they want to say and like stand by it and not be scared per se of like what the socials have to say or the press or anything like that. But I would say with Kamala Harris, the thing with the debate is nobody really knows Mike Pence. So even if he goes to debate her, it's like this is your first pretty much interaction with the American people because you've never really done much besides co-sign Donald Trump's bullcrap. So it's like, we
don't really know much about his views.
Exactly. I know he has some radical ones, of course, but as far as like hearing him speak publicly and say anything that has been in the press or anything so controversial to the point where the American people are in an uproar, I haven't really seen anything yet, though. I'm
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to
it. But Kamala Harris being in a debate, being African American,
she's a lawyer too.
Asian,
exactly.
She has advocated for healthcare reform.
Yeah,
and she's advocated for the DREAM Act for illegal or unauthorized immigrants.
Yeah,
so like she's done her part.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see her and what she's gonna say in the vice president debate.
And I really hope that she tackles the problem that people say like, oh, like Kamala Harris put a lot of black people in jail, so on and so forth. But you have to understand also in her job position, being that she's a prosecutor, she's not the one that gathers the case and the evidence. That's the police. All she does is take the evidence from this side and then goes with what evidence fits more. I'm pretty sure personally, if I had to think about, put myself in her shoes, she definitely thought about some of these court cases being bogus, which is why she did start reform for, lowering penalties for marijuana charges, because black men mostly suffer from that. And, doing a lot of other things to benefit the black community that were maybe behind the scenes that, she had to do within her own office, because when she was on cases in, federal court, she couldn't have a say or, something to say at that. But yeah, I really hope she does well because I loved her. I wanted her to be.
I'm excited.
I wanted her to be the presidential candidate. Joe Biden's right, but I wanted her.
And not only that, it's like she's a minority in the government, but now she's also a woman.
Yeah.
So like, I really hope that encourages other women to stand up and be like, I want to do a job that the society says is supposed to be a man's job.
Exactly.
Because mostly people that are in the government mostly are men.
Exactly. Old white men. Exactly. Old white men with dementia making bad decisions.
and it all shows why things run the way they do, because the Supreme Court is all men.
Yeah.
And the person who just got elected to replace Ginsburg. Is a conservative. Yeah. And she's a favorite candidate of the conservatives. Mm-hmm.
But even at that, let's talk about how the first thing that people are going to remember you for is you being controversial for being elected. And after she already said in a later interview that after a justice dies or another justice should be elected during an election period, that shouldn't happen. So she's a hypocrite, just like her commander-in-chief, which I find very ironic. And I don't see how people don't correlate Trump's like corruptness with
because now 6 of 9 of those seats are all conservatives now.
And
why do you think Trump is rushing her to get into exactly?
And so many things are going to be overturned, and so many things are going to get ugly. But we can talk about the details of that, and I can get more honest about that part later. But what do you think about the, I guess, representation of Trump on campus?
Not like I don't want to, challenge anyone's views because everyone's open to having their own political views.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that we both have talked about that happened on campus right after something was done with the Breonna Taylor case.
Exactly.
Which was, for us, it was controversial, and we were just like, what the heck? Like,
so we should break it down for them, right?
Yeah. How about you explain the whole situation that happened and that you saw with your own eyes
from my window?
From your window.
I was trying to sleep. I had to see this crap. No. So there's this, how do I say, individual on campus who has a Trump flag attached to his Jeep. So it's already some SDE. If you know, you know. But he's just driving around campus. Obviously everyone has their right to their own political freedom of speech, all these things that some of us have, even though they tell us that we all do. But it's more so you didn't use that flag any week prior, any day, any second prior until the cops got released for Breonna Taylor's case. So I find that kind of like disrespectful, and like you knew what you were doing intentionally, even if it was subliminal. Because, you know, I don't know. I just wouldn't do that. I can't even make an example.
It basically ties into
the perception of what we have with them.
The perception and like representing white supremacy with pride.
Exactly.
Like I'm riding around campus with my Trump truck because Breonna Taylor's officers got a slap on their wrist.
Exactly. And it's the same type of people who will post Black Lives Matter, who will say, oh, I have Black friends, who will say, you know, I have Black family members. But it's just very, I don't know, it's like a backhanded like slap to see that, you know, liking Trump is different than being racist, even though it's kind of one and the same. Because liking Trump, even though he has racist tendencies, you can say, like other people love to say, whenever someone says, oh, I support Trump, but I support Trump. It's always that but, because everything before a but.
That but in there.
Everything before a but is bull. Everything before a but is bull. So you say, but, oh, he's done great for the economy. He's done great for healthcare. He's done great for Black people. It's like, okay, you're saying those things, and some of them may have truth to them. I'm not going to sit here and invalidate every single argument someone makes for Trump. It's just more so you are seeing that he's racist, and you're deciding that that's not the deal breaker above everything else. So the same men who won't date a girl because she's been with all these guys is now gonna, I guess, transfer and like deter it and say, oh, well, Trump's racist, he's done all these things, but I'm gonna just denote it because like he's a good guy. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Because a lot of racism is racism in itself.
Yeah.
Because you know it's happening. So it's like you're allowing it to happen, and then you're still, how does that make sense? How are you still supporting?
Because like Trump is fully narcissistic, so I really do believe that he doesn't have.
I love talking about narcissism.
Like I truly believe he doesn't have like, you know, empathy. Like he doesn't know how to feel bad for.
And this whole thing with him diagnosis of COVID.
That's bullcrap. I'm done.
What do you think about that?
That's okay. Listen, I'm gonna explain it because my mom and I talk about this all the time. I'm taking my jacket off. I'm getting hot. Hold up. So Trump and COVID. Similarly to the kid driving around campus with his Trump flag on. Only after you get your butt thrashed in the debate do you want to say, oh, I have COVID now. Okay, you know what? Let's say you have COVID before we start, you know, going away from it. You were in Walter Reed Hospital for what? 2 days? Less than? You left the hospital to do a tour around the hospital to say hi to the 15 supporters you had that weren't wishing death on you. And then you said, oh, I'm going home. I feel much better because the new drug they just gave us at the White House is phenomenal. You know, we're doing great things.
You said the ones that weren't wishing death.
So shit like that. They're like,
I'm pretty sure those names like, yo, I hope he dies.
So the 15 people were out there like, yeah, Trump. When all of Twitter, all of Instagram, all of anything social media was wishing death on this dude through witchcraft, through prayers, through everything they could. So it's like there's a sense of delusional in there too. Like, you know, I respect it. Like, you know, I can't see the haters, but it's also like, is you like that's going past you? But no. So to me, everything is a charade. And then the pictures of people, they zoomed in because, you know, people are pettier than me. And I'm pretty petty. So when I see stuff like this, I start crying because I'm like, why do you have the time to do this? Someone zoomed in on Trump when he said he was working from Walter Reed Hospital, and it's just him signing a blank piece of paper with a Sharpie marker.
Nah.
I was like, Donald.
No, it was really, I really do think it was a whole charade. Because in the midst of all this, you want to say you have COVID, and then you stay in the hospital for 2 days. So
after saying COVID is a hoax, after saying you don't have to wear your mask, after saying all this crap, after saying take whatever the drug he said, drink bleach, he didn't even do that himself. So I'm like, oh, bro. How are
you, the president of the United States, gonna tell people to drink bleach? And then, was it bleach or Lysol?
Bleach. Bleach doesn't matter. It both have to kill you. It's both gonna just clean you out. Definitely.
We're gonna start drinking bleach in the house. It's like, oh, like this is my president. That's not my president.
Not my president. Never been my president for the past 4 years. Yeah, I've been living with that president. He's not my president. He would never be my president. That is on period. But let's go to the next topic because we can get into Trump a lot later and be a lot more honest.
True.
So you choose the topic. What do you want to talk about?
So I'm gonna ask you some questions. Since you opened this amazing clothing line.
Thank you.
And you have some pretty good pieces in there, which I want to buy. So what are some tips that you give for some new artists and entrepreneurs since you did design your own clothes and you are an entrepreneur now? What do you say to those who aspire to be like an artist, an entrepreneur, want to start their own business?
I would say, again, and it's so cliche for everyone to say this, but it's the step that I listen to people say, but I always bounced around it. Just start. Like, I'm gonna keep saying it like a mantra so you get it in your head. You just need to start. Because in all honesty, I always helped people with their businesses. I was helping my friends. I was being a brand ambassador. I was modeling, freelance, like finding my own deals and then doing it. So that's also part of it. You have to be hungry to want to do it. You gotta
learn the ropes. Too.
Exactly. I'm not saying, I'm gonna do one photo shoot. I'm gonna be on Vogue. No, that doesn't happen that way. Only it worked like that. Sometimes, every once in a blue moon, if someone gets lucky, you got that. Sure. But most times, you got to put that work in. You got to get from the bottom and scrape yourself up. Like, see, technically, if you want to look at it, one could say I'm still on the bottom of my journey, which I am, and I'd probably say I am. But when it comes to like other designers that I've seen and some that I worked with, it's just like you really have to be passionate about it. It can't just be about the money. Like a lot of us started. It can't just
be an interest.
Exactly. Like a lot of us started this, our businesses. A lot of us started anything during quarantine because boredom, this and this. It was already a passion, so on and so forth. But they're in it just for the money. You're not really. I don't know, because I like to be hands-on with my baby. Is what I call it, the Eccentric print. Because like no one's gonna love it. Like I'm gonna love it, and no one's gonna support, finance, and do all the things like I'm gonna do. Of course, you have investors and stuff like that, but it's more so like you have to be the boss, and you have to say in your head, "I'm Bill Gates right now." Like, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I'm just a small business." No, I'm a business. I've done this, and this. This is stuff that you will expect because at the end of the day, one thing I can say: Coca-Cola, the first year in business, only sold one bottle of Coca-Cola.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. The one bottle, and now they're selling billions a day. So I did better than Coca-Cola in my first day. I'm just in my first 3 months, I did better than Coca-Cola. But no, it's about literally believing in yourself and doing it and asking anybody. This Brendan, did you say Mariah or Nikki? I should fight you for that. I answer that later. But yeah, that's.
And what about like your mission behind your clothing line?
This is deep.
Like when you thought about it, you were like, what's my purpose behind this? So what's my mission behind this?
So a little story time, but I won't make it long, I promise. So I did my first company, which is Toxic Inc., which some people may have heard of. I only got like 3 or 4 clients. It wasn't anything big, anything that I really pushed hard for. But I wasn't really passionate about that because I did that fresh out of a breakup. My heart really wasn't into it. I really wasn't anywhere up here. I was just like trying to do something so I can feel alive, I guess, in that sense, because breakups are hard. So then after, I built myself back up, did my therapy, and then started like, get back on my game, figuring out all the things I wanted to do. I'm like, nah, this is the time I got to start it. So let me think about myself because I said I want to be my brand because my biggest inspiration, even though people say, oh, it's just a cliche gay thing, even though I'm bisexual, is Nicki Minaj because she's a boss woman. Like she's loud. She says what she wants to say. My mom is a boss woman. She does the same thing. Mariah Carey is a boss woman. So like all these examples are things that I cherish. And that's not that, I don't cherish my dad. My dad's a boss dad. He ran businesses, he was a boss, like, period. I love him too. But seeing women like being treated like crap and then being able to make it almost makes me feel like, okay, I'm black. I'm, all these other denominations that make me like lower than what society has seen me as. So I really want to come out and do something and be up there as my inspirations. So Eccentric, that's something people always call me because I do things differently. Like I just don't care. So like, again, some people are scared to say this to somebody. I'll say it.
You've definitely proved yourself.
Right? I'll get my nails done. I'll dye my hair. I'll wear a skirt.
Because at the end of the day, you do what makes you happy.
It makes me happy. And at the end of the day, did I make you smile? You got 5 minutes of seeing me look kind of crazy in your eyes, but did I make you smile? Did I make you happy? Life is just a game. So it's like, yeah, this person said this one time, but did I make someone else's day? Did I inspire someone else to do what they wanted to do? So it's mostly a lot of that. And then elephant, like the elephant, the E, the eccentric. The reason why I chose an elephant is because elephants never forget anything. And that's what I always saw myself as, right? So I never forget the good, never forget the bad, I never forget the in between.
Everything in between.
Everything is just in my head. So, you know, the reason why I'm good with the receipts, if I remember something bad, it's going to come right back up and it's going to go right in your face. And I'm going to remember all the good and the small pieces of people who helped me, you know, get there along the way. And then I put cheetah print on the elephant because you'll never see on Earth. It's a mythical creature, elephant with cheetah prints. It's not going to happen. So it's like eccentric. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's in the name. And then print, clothes. It goes a lot of places. Print, photography, because my company is more than just one thing. So it's a lot of that.
Very important.
Yes.
Wow, you gave some good tips.
Yes.
Can we talk about something funny now though?
Yes.
Tory Lanez.
Okay, Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. I need people's comments in here. Everyone that's watching.
So first of all, you know what Tory Lanez's real name is?
What?
It's Daystar Peterson.
Daystar?
Daystar Peterson.
That sounds like a P-star name. What the heck? Okay.
And we all know how tall Tory Lanez is.
5'6".
He's 5'3".
Oh, that's a little pick-me.
And little stallion over here.
That's a little baby. That's a little baby.
Stallion is a whole stallion.
Yeah,
that's why they call her Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, she's like 6.
She's 5'10".
Oh, I thought she was 6.
That's a whole 7 inches of a height difference.
Yeah, that is. That's.
And you still shot her in the foot.
Yo. All right. So what do you think? What do you think happened?
I think that he could have done it. He was probably mad. But the thing is that like you see it connects back to the system too, because I found out that he was charged by LAPD for carrying a concealed weapon. But he was charged and released the same day because he paid bond.
Yeah.
So even though he's probably guilty, he got money. So at the end of the day,
get out.
He could get out that same day. He could get out. He could get booked and bonded and get out at the same day.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
It shows you a lot. It shows you a lot about how our system runs.
Money and power.
Money. If you got money and you guilty, you probably gonna be better off if you're poor and innocent.
Honestly, because
it's been shown many times.
Very many times. I think, you know, I believe Meg because I'm a. Wait, can I do this? Let me see something. I'm smart enough to do this. Let's hit this away. Come over here. I can. Oh, that's lit.
Yay.
Okay, so then you can see us both.
Yeah.
1 second.
Oh, you turned that one off?
Yeah.
Copy.
Hello.
Like scholars.
There we go. It works. All right.
Perfect.
Let me move this shirt away. All right. So let me tell you what I think happened. I think. Please don't chop my head off for this because I'm a very, very sensitive person. You know, but no. I think that Meg's telling the truth, but she's not telling the whole truth.
You think something happened before that?
Yes, there has to be something because listen, whether or not Tory shot her or not, there had to be an altercation to where she was upset and he was upset. Something went down, some conversation, whatever it may be. There's many speculation, but I'm not gonna get into those because that's starting crap. But there's something that went down in that car before or after, it doesn't matter. Where maybe they were arguing, kind of like a Chris Brown and Rihanna situation. But
she got shot instead of beating up.
She got shot instead of beating up. But then this is the other part that makes me like wonder. There's no dispute that Meg got shot. No one's saying that she didn't get shot. I believe she got shot. The Instagram proof shows she got shot. But the thing about bullets and then like your foot is also that it wasn't a direct shot. Maybe is what people were speculating, right?
Yeah,
that's what they were saying.
Because when she got out, I don't know if you saw the video of the surveillance when there was a helicopter up top where she was getting out. Mm-hmm. How was she able to like get out like that? And apparently wasn't she shot in both feet? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So she apparently shot in both feet. But then again, I excused that. I was like, maybe adrenaline was working on her side. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. But I also think that Tory Lanez handled this in the most immature, but also boss way possible.
Yeah.
Because like immature in the sense of like, yeah, you should have shut up. Because you did. End of the day, whether she did say anything, you did assault somebody. And I don't like to say you assaulted a woman because it's 2020 equality. I know some women that can beat the crap out of some men and they would never expect it to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not bad. So, you know, I think that it was just like a situation that should have been kept more private. I think that it was a little bit of publicity mixed in there because it benefited both of them. At the end of the day,
at the end of the day, Tori still came out with a new album, which I don't fully agree on.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this? Because a lot of people are listening to this album.
No, I know.
It's funny.
Some of my friends were listening to the album, posted this saying, "Yo, Tori to go." I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yo. I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? I was like, I want to hear what he said, but then again, I don't want to like read it. Like, I don't want to like support the album and give him streams.
Give him money,
right? So I was like, well, I listened to one song. That's not gonna give him the most money. Like, that's 1 cent. Like, whatever. You guys do worse. Like, you're watching Trump. They give some money. You pay taxes. But no, I was like, I was just more so. I don't know. It's just that one song where he was asking for her back. It's called Stargaze, something like that. He's like, I want you back. First of all, he sounded like Justin Bieber. I was like, this is definitely not your vocals, but I said they are. You fire. But that song was sweet only because, like, if you ever been in love and you ever did want somebody back, it's like, I feel what you feeling, Tori, but no, that's toxic. That's where I'm at with it. But in the sense of like, Meg has a right to be pissed off and other stuff like that. Yeah. Like, it's something that I don't think she'll go back on. I hope not. And I hope Tori either grows from this or he just like, goes back to Canada and just like leaves it alone. I don't know.
He's trying to get her back for cuffing season.
No, that's not happening because you already shot her during this hot girl summer. So it's like you crazy.
Now she's in WAP, so now you can't tell her nothing. You can't tell her nothing anymore. You love tall women like she's talking about.
Exactly. So tell us what you guys think about that, and we can answer some more questions about that for the later time portion. Let's see. What do you think? Now, let's switch gears a little bit to something that can be educational for our audience today, because we like to talk crap and educate our eccentrics
both at the same time. That's at the same time. All about
duality. Exactly. Tell me about your spirituality and like what we talked about. So tell them
So I grew up in a Catholic household, where it was very enforced. Like. And my mom still goes to church every Sunday, and I didn't even know this was a Catholic school. You didn't either. Yeah, right? No. So we came here.
Okay. Anyone else watching this, be honest, like, especially out there, did you know Iona was a Catholic school, or did you just apply, get the money, come, and then you realize it said Catholic University or something like that, Catholic College or something like that on the header, or was it just us? Because I did not know, and I've been in Catholic school my whole life.
That didn't really affect me.
It didn't affect me, but it shocked the heck out of me.
Like it showed me why it's so expensive to come here because it's a private school.
Yeah.
So religion and spirituality, they're like two things. They're two different things, but like they're often debatable. Mm-hmm. So religion is more of like shared, like a group of beliefs that are shared between a community of people or groups of people. Mm-hmm. And then you have spirituality, which is like more of an individual thing and thing that you do it by yourself. And it's like an individual practice.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you like a sense of peace and purpose. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, religion is more like groups.
Organized.
Yeah, it's more organized.
Structured and all that.
I, to be honest, like, yes, I am religious, but I aspire more spirituality because at the end of the day, what we do on our own is like manifestations. I believe so much in that.
Yeah.
I believe in like your energy, your vibes. Mm-hmm. And yes, religion is important. I'm not saying religion isn't important. But it's so important to educate yourself about spirituality as well, because even though you could be a part of whatever religion, and I respect every religion out there, mm-hmm. spirituality is very important too. Like everyone practices their own spirituality.
Yeah.
And what about you? Because I know you're big on manifestation.
Yeah. So like with me, I'm screaming at this. With me, I'm sorry, I got to bust your ears out. With me, I went to Catholic school my whole life too. Since literally first grade to now. I've had so many experiences with Catholic people that were just really, really negative. So even in this sense of like, okay,
Really?
you're bisexual and you're trying to discover yourself, and maybe you're having thoughts at a younger age, and you're like, wait a minute, I think this girl's cute, and I think this guy's cute, and I think, what's wrong with that? But then they're telling you, oh, you're going to hell if you do that. Oh, there's this wrong with that, this wrong with that. So then it makes you internalize that, which becomes horrible for your mental health in the sense of like, oh, am I really doing the right thing? And then you put the curtain of, oh, listen, you don't listen to us, but God is going to get you if you don't do that. So then you get even more scared. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of racism into, systemic, especially like you guys went to Catholic school, like no, private school. Public school is not as bad as private school.
I went to a public school. You went to private school, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say public school, yeah, there may be bullying, fights, all the other stuff, but in private school, it's all of that and they get away with it.
Like, no way.
Yes, they get away with it. So you can again call somebody let's call him a gardener because he's Spanish, and they don't get in trouble for that just because it's a joke. But it's not. It's deeper than that. So that kind of thing. But the more I left high school, I started more getting into let me try a Baptist because that's what my parents are. That's what I also enjoy that church. That church that I was going to at the time got extremely homophobic. So I was like, wow. I was like, no. And it caused an issue even with me and my dad because my dad didn't want to bring me and my boyfriend at the time there. And I was like, listen, if you can't bring your son and someone who's in love with right now there, then this is not a church because church is supposed to be about love, fellowship, and all this. So I'm never going to that church again, and I've been back since. So then I was like, you know what? I believe there's a God, but I believe that he just made a lot of stupid people. So I'm going to practice on myself and like figure out what I believe, figure out what I want to do, figure out what works for me, how I feel closer to God. So then, I started experimenting with, again, just praying and just seeing like the answers I got there, because that worked for me in the best way when I had some trouble like last summer or something like that, where I just like could do nothing but pray, and it worked out for me. But I was like, there's something more than that, because prayer works, manifestation works, but listen to the word that I say after. It's work that you have to put into it too. You can't just manifest it.
You can't just talk and be like, oh, it's going to come true because I'm manifesting it.
Exactly.
You have to work your way through that to make sure and have those steps and follow through those steps to make sure that you get to that goal.
Exactly.
Every manifestation is a life goal.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that you
getting it right now.
Sit back and just watch it happen. No,
exactly.
You got to put in the work.
And that's what not stopped me. That's what always confused me when I always heard about manifestation and like, astrology and all these other things.
I'm big into astrology.
So I thought that was sacrilegious. I thought that was like devil worship in a sense. I'm so serious.
Really?
Because like they told us like all that crap doesn't make sense. So
it does.
Being in a dog, it does. It does make sense.
A lot of people don't believe in astrology, but I do. Libra gang.
No, son, it does. It does. Like, look it up. We'll talk about that later. But you know what I'm saying? Like when you put it inside of this bubble, you can't be yourself. You can't be eccentric. That's another point to the company. It's like whenever I'm doing something I want to do, whenever I'm writing down in my book, let me see, this is the book I do. This is my manifestations for October. Like, I'm not gonna let you guys read it, but you guys can see it. That's real. You write them down, and like some of them you're not gonna get to this month. It's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay.
It doesn't, manifestations don't come true right away. It's supposed to be like almost like a map in your brain of all the things that you can accomplish. And if you believe in yourself hard enough and God blesses you, it's going to happen.
Exactly.
So, I just think that people, especially if you're going to tie everything we talked about so far together, I think as far as politics, as far as, what else we talk about? Politics, relationships with Meg Stallion, all that, and everything, people just more so takes what society has set for you, the norm society has set, and ride out with that the whole entire life. And they never, ever try to extend outside of that because they're so afraid of being judged, so afraid of the parents telling them something they won't want to hear. Life isn't always going to be goody two shoes, everyone kissing your butt. Like, it's going to be a lot of times that people are dragging you, people are lying on your name because they're bored. And and there's gonna be a lot of situations in life where you're just gonna not know what to do, and that's when you're gonna have to literally sit down in yourself, be alone for 5-10 minutes, as long as you need, and figure out what do you want from your life. Because at the end of the day, I can say, Liz is my friend, but at the end of the day, if she disappears, what am I going to do? Stop my whole entire life and do nothing? Or am I going to be like, okay, because of her influence in my life, I can now manifest this that I want to do, this and this and this and this. It's almost like having her there with me. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can't be with that person. That makes sense?
Yeah,
like,
makes sense.
Like you guys gotta think for yourself. Stop being sheep. Be the shepherd. Be the one that leads. Because listen,
yes, sir.
And even if you don't talk about Christianity, they tell you be like God, but not God. If you want to be like God, then be a leader. Don't be a sheep. God was the shepherd. He led people. He told people, like, I can't even, like, you guys know the stories. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't fear even when he knew, like, he had information, like, hey, this is how you're gonna die, bro. Like, you're gonna die. They're gonna come get you in the garden. They're gonna bring you here. Like, he knew everything that was gonna happen, and he still did it. If I was God, if I saw the state of the world right now, I'd be like, deuces, y'all can do it for yourselves. Because, like, you know, like, there's a lot of, like, craziness, you know, and
that's why I'm not getting no new president.
Exactly.
He said, do it by yourself.
Like, do it by yourself.
I'm done.
I would say exactly what Donald Trump said. It is what it is. Like, you know, I can't do nothing about it.
It is what it is.
It is.
So wait, new topic.
All right.
You trying to get into a relationship?
Yeah, go ahead.
This cuffing season?
Let's go. It's cuffing season. All right. Let me get my.
Let's really talk about it.
Let me get my Kleenex out so I can cry. I'm single, guys, and I'm not looking. I'm just wanted to let you guys know. You guys are disgusting.
I'm single too. I'm single too, and I'm up for dating, and I feel like college is a huge place for you to explore. A lot of people come into this place thinking they're gonna get into a relationship and it's gonna be all fun and games. No, it's nothing like that.
No, listen, no. Okay, let's not talk. Okay, listen, because one of the things that always scared me about relationships is people always saying bad things. So let's start off with the good things, right?
Yes.
You first.
Some good things that come out of a relationship. I mean, like, not only do you're falling in love with somebody, because I know, not that I know what this feels like, but it's how you were telling me before about Stargaze. It's like this emotional intensity. You fall for somebody, this and the third. You get to know someone. You're spending a lot of your time. You get to learn something new about someone.
Yeah.
You get to explore the world with someone that you love.
Yeah.
You go.
Oh shoot. Listen, I never thought I'd be in love because I always said, you know, like, I'm a softie. If people really know me, I'm soft on the inside, but I give everyone the hard exterior because people try to play with your soft side too much. Because again, for the most of my life, I was this carpet. I let people walk over me because I'm like, I want to be a nice person because they told me nice people always prevail. Cap. But you know, it's a flux. You have to be nice and mean. I think that's what I do. But
I didn't know you were a softie.
Yeah, right. I'm a softie too. I'm a softie because, you know, again, that's how.
But I portray that mean side too.
You have to, because again, some people
like to play with my feelings.
Get this side, like, again, the conversation we even had off the air. Nobody can get that out of me because that's, again, we vibe. Yeah. It's just like, even right now, it's a vibe. Yeah. It's not like I'm all right. I have to do this with her, you know. But anyway, back on topic. I would say it caught me by surprise. Like, it was like actually like a sweep off of your feet, because just the instances of how I met the last person I was really with, because I'm not counting the people in between because it never happened if the wasn't snapping. But, you know, it caught me by surprise and it was great. It's like, you know, with me, you have tunnel vision for this one person and they have tunnel vision for you. And it feels like, oh, this can't be real. It can't be real. This is fantasy. And it's the cupcake phase. That's what it is.
It's like the infatuation phase,
It's the
right?
It's the lust. It's the lust phase. It's the everything that you can really get into.
Like, everything is perfect in this moment.
It's like, oh, I found the love of my life, this and that.
This is my soulmate.
Exactly. You know, spending, and the part that, you know, I never did, I'm not a FaceTime person besides every once in a while. I spend every single day on FaceTime with this individual. I'm
such a FaceTime
from
person.
The day we met until almost the day we broke up. Like, every single day. Like, every single day. Like, craziness. Like, and it wasn't, at the time, it wasn't suffocating. But yeah, how about you?
Then you start learning about your indifferences with people, and then that's where communication comes along. And I feel like it's so important. It's such a crucial component to a relationship, because if you don't have some sort of effective communication, then you guys are never going to be able to discuss anything and come out of it not only with everything doesn't have to end with the resolution.
Yeah.
You're coming to terms with someone, and you're coming to what's it called? Not an agreement, but a compromise.
Yeah.
And you learn about that person learns about you. And sometimes it's not going to be all fun and games. And you're not going to get along. It's just like you don't get along with everyone in this world. Doesn't mean you won't see eye to eye with your partner. And that's okay.
I feel like that's what deters and breaks up a lot of relationships. People expect it to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
And the minute there's any test, any tribulation, I can't do this anymore.
Go back down.
It's toxic. It's this. It's this. It's this. You know, it's all these things.
Folding. When you fold, it's like why'd you even get into a relationship? But like the first thing that bad that happens, you fold.
Like, no, that's not the point. Because like
fold like a piece of paper.
Exactly. Like one thing about Leos, astrology, talking about that, I'm loyal to the bone, and it's almost sickening how loyal I can be. Even with friends that I've cut off, I might let some of them back in just because I remember this one good memory I have with them, and I'm like, that's enough for me to be like, I give you another try. Which became toxic for myself, but like, you know, in a sense of like, people have good intentions going into relationships, but unless you really know yourself and love yourself and you understand all the parts of you that make you weak, or you have somebody that is willing to grow with you like that, the relationship's gonna fail.
Yeah,
like that's just
I totally agree with that, and I think that if you're gonna get into a relationship too, like, you have to kind of self-reflect and be like, am I stable for this? Am I mentally and emotionally stable to be in a relationship? Because if you're not, you're gonna mess up the whole relationship. Because let's say if I'm an unstable person and you're a stable person and we're together, I'm gonna ruin everything because it's gonna be my problems that are gonna interfere with the whole relationship and the whole piece of the relationship.
Exactly.
A lot of people are unstable when they get into relationships, and I can tell. And I'm not gonna be the one to be like, I told you so, because I hate when people do that to me.
Yeah, it's listen.
Like, let me learn, yo.
Like, learn. That's the part.
Let me get my feelings here for
once. My parents were telling me, my sisters and everybody were like, "Oh, Kobe, you know, this is looking like this. This is looking like that." I'm like, mind your business. I'm in love. Like, you know, let me be in love. Like, you know, I've never been in love before. This is my first time. Like, you know, it's exciting. Let me live. But then again, when you are now depressed because that relationship,
mental health awareness,
not for the relationship. Uppercutted you. You're like, oh, wait a minute now. Maybe they had some truth to what they were saying. And that's, you know, one part I also want to add in, because in my relationship, I felt there were too many also outside influences coming in and like affecting that. We can get into that. We're going to get into that a lot during this show because, you know, we can talk about this many episodes because I have a lot to talk about.
Privacy to a relationship is also really important.
What is it?
Privacy to a relationship.
Privacy is extremely important because if you, you know, there's social media, you can post that, but if you're posting your actual everything and you're telling everyone your business,
I hate when people do that
24/7, you're sick. You are literally sick. People can sit there and say, "Oh, cool, but you post everything though." No, I post what I want you guys to see. You guys don't know about my life. Like, I'm even confused about my life sometimes.
Sit down.
Like, you know, I'm like, here's a seat.
Be comfortable.
Don't be shy. You know, but like, you know, like, there's a lot of things that just don't deserve to go on the internet. Like, what do you think about like relationships on OnlyFans? I think solo is okay.
People do that?
Yes, Safari and Erica, all these things. It's like
they post
anything,
everything.
Like,
no way.
I think that just takes away the intimacy and the magic and everything
and the passion of like what you guys share together.
Exactly. So, you know, I think that everything, like relationships in 2020, especially in the new century, is becoming status builds. Like, oh, if I date this person, I can get this many followers, I can get this status, I can do this
instead of actually being happy with somebody.
Exactly. Like the last person I was.
Who was Safari with?
Who? Erica Mina.
Erica Mina. Oh my gosh, she looked good. That girl is
beautiful. She actually really is. Safari is beautiful too. I'm not gonna lie. Safari is a good-looking guy, even though he disrespected Nikki many times. We're gonna look past that because
aren't you a Nikki fan?
Okay, listen. I hated calling myself a barb for the longest time. Because it was just such a negative connotation because barbs be so vicious and barbs be so mean and all this other stuff. And then the more I sit back and look at it, I was like, I could be a barb, but I like to call myself a Ken because, like, even though, like, you know, Nikki's Barbie, let me be Ken, like, you know, because usually, again, not bad. Barbs are more like, you know, effeminate, more characterized, like, you know, like Nikki. Like, you know, I'm not as characterized. I can be, but I'm more like a flux. Again, everything I do in life is just like, you know, in between like that. But Nikki, and this is not for dispute. Anyone that is going to dispute this, you will get blocked. I'm petty.
He's not lying.
She is the queen of rap. She is a phenomenal businesswoman. And the fact that, you know, so many people hate her but still listen to her music sounds very familiar.
Pregnant.
She had a baby. She had a baby.
She had a baby already?
I'm an uncle. Yes, she had the baby already.
That was so fast. Well, it's kind of like
she kept it private. That's why.
Yeah, it was more like a Kylie thing, where
exactly.
like Kylie didn't show anything until she had her baby.
She didn't want anyone to know because people would be so nosy. And Nikki's a private life. And a thing about Nikki, and which is how I relate to Nikki, and what kind of made me want to be her fan more. There's so much hate surrounded her. It's such a hate train, and so many things that are just like not true, or even if it is true, it's like it doesn't involve you. So like, it's again, if I had a beef with Killian, why are you gonna get involved?
Killian,
you know what I'm saying? Why are you gonna get involved with the beef with Killian? Like, you know, it's separate kind of thing. And I don't think people like have the mindset to like understand that not everything in life is as dogmatic as they make. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah. Understandable. So we got 7 more minutes. What's the final topic we're gonna blow them away with? Because, oh, guys, while you look for it, next week I have a special surprise for you guys, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, well, don't watch. But, but no, like, you guys are gonna enjoy it because I'm happy that I was able to do this, and this came on a whim, and I kind of manifested it, but it was one of the manifestations, but I didn't really believe it. But it turned out to actually work, so I'm happy to see it work. I'm meeting tomorrow about it to get the finalizations, but you guys just stay tuned to my Instagram, the Eccentric Show Instagram, and the Eccentric Print Instagram to get a, you know, view of what's happening.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yes.
I want to know what it is.
I'll tell you after.
Okay. Before we close, I want to like give a little bit of information about Babe Caves.
Yes.
Don't get it wrong. It's not only women. It's all inclusive. It's gonna be community centered. So
explain to me what it is.
So it's like it's a project that we're working on. It's gonna start off with a podcast, and that's why I was so excited when you asked me to be on your podcast, because I was like,
a little practice.
This is God. God gives me signals every single day, and we have a small team behind it. It's inclusive. It's community centered. Called Babe Cave. So we're bringing together a diverse community of people that want to listen, engage, and tune in to discuss relatable content in a safe space. We want everyone to feel safe, and we want to grow a network of communicators and sharing stories, shedding light on taboo topics, and strategies towards success. I know you're a businessman, so I would love to have you too.
I would love to be on your show. I got
you. For upcoming professionals too, because we are college students, and everyone has their own steps to success, and
exactly
one formula may not equal the same answer every single time.
Exactly.
Everyone takes their own ways. As you can see, this person right here took a very, very eccentric way to success. So we're trying to just create a safe space. We want it to be all inclusive. We want it to be diverse. I'm a minority. We're both minorities. So it's nice to see that on campus and to really like promote diversity, bring awareness to it.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I like to
That's what we like to see.
That's what we like to see. Because again, even my models, like again, you guys follow my models because you guys are obsessed. My models are sexy, I know. But like, you know, like it's such a great feeling seeing like being able to work with younger Black people who are interested in it, or even not so interested in it, but are getting interested in it just because they have the exposure to it.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, a lot of the things I feel opportunity, because one of the things that I'm going to do, manifesting it when I get rich and famous, is that I'm going to just like have an eccentric, I guess, like almost like eccentric boot camp, like teaching Black creators who either have the creativity or don't have it, teach them how to get it and how to build or help with this person. Like, again, because right now, like I'm the CEO, but there's someone else I could hire that's the production manager. You handle that. So like, you know, maybe if you're not the biggest boss, you can be a boss and represent it somewhere where you feel like you actually have parts and like you do your like, due diligence,
giving those people the opportunity,
exactly.
Opening those doors for people,
exactly, because we are gatekeepers, whether or not it's for Sony or whether or not it's for the Eccentric print. We have an opportunity to get someone who is unrecognized on social media or unrecognized at all, and show them that they can be beautiful in a photo shoot. Show them that they can be a model if they don't think they can be. Show them that life is more than just what you've already seen, that it can be more if you want to be creative and create with me.
Yes.
And that's on what?
Period, poo.
So I thank you for coming today. You have been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
We gotta catch up later tonight.
I'm so happy that I came because let me tell you, this is not my usual thing.
Yes.
So stepping out of my comfort zone is like a new thing for me. I'm so happy that like you opened this door for me, and now like I know how it is to host a podcast, and hopefully you can show me the ropes of how to do this stuff because it looks a little bit complicated.
You got this.
And I'm not very tech savvy, but I'm excited to like I want to come back with you.
You come back. Listen, we'll have you back definitely because you're a great guest. You're funny. You can vibe, and we can talk about a lot more stuff.
Later tonight,
guys. 8:00. We're gonna be getting into the uncensored version because we like to be honest and blunt with our people too. So
we are very blunt people. Let's just talk about that.
We want to talk about that. We're gonna get into a lot of things, and one of the topics, since you guys like to have a little hint, we're gonna talk about residential life across colleges everywhere. So nobody feels attacked.
Certain organizations.
Certain organizations. What have you? Whatever you want to say they are. We're going to get into all the things that nobody wants to talk about because they're too scared. And guess what? I'm not. So I will call you guys back later. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kobe, so much.
Talk to you later. And I will call you guys back.
That's good.
And the stream. Okay.